They say in my village, there was a woman who never touched the ground. Not once. Not when she walked. Not when she stood still. And if you were unlucky enough to notice it, she would notice you too. The woman who never touched the ground. My name is Chica. I didn't believe the stories at first. Every village has its own legends, whispers carried by old women, warnings told to children so they behave. I thought this was just another one, until the day I saw her, and everything changed. It was late afternoon, the kind of heat that makes the air ripple like water. I was coming back from the market, tired, dusty, and thinking only about food and rest. That was when I saw her. She stood at the far end of the road, completely still. At first, nothing seemed strange. A woman, tall, wrapped in a long pale cloth that barely moved, even though the wind was blowing. People walked past her, but not too close. No one greeted her. No one looked at her. That was the first thing that felt wrong. I don't know why I kept staring. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe something inside me already knew. Then I noticed her feet, or rather, the absence of them touching the ground. She wasn't standing. She was hovering, just slightly, barely noticeable, like a shadow that had forgotten where it belonged. My breath caught in my throat. I blinked, but she was still there, still floating. And then, she turned, slowly, too slowly, her head tilted, as if it took effort to remember how, and her eyes locked onto mine. I froze, because in that moment, I understood something deeply, instinctively terrifying. I was not supposed to see that. Around me, the market continued. Voices, laughter, arguments, but it all felt distant, like I was underwater. No one reacted. No one noticed her staring at me. It was as if the entire world had agreed to ignore her. Or worse, pretend she wasn't there. That night, I told my grandmother. She didn't speak at first. She just stared into the fire, her face tightening. Then she said something I will never forget. If she knows that you've seen her, she will come closer next time. I laughed, nervously, but she didn't. The next day I avoided that road. I took longer paths, passed through crowded areas, stayed close to people. But evening came, and with it a strange feeling, like I was being followed, not by footsteps, but by presence. When I finally reached home, I felt relief wash over me, until I looked up and saw her. She stood across the compound, closer than before, much closer. No one else reacted. My siblings played nearby. My mother called from the kitchen. But me? I couldn't move, because now I could see it clearly. Her feet were not just off the ground. They were wrong, bent slightly, twisted, as if they no longer remembered how to stand. She smiled, slowly, and it wasn't a human smile. Stretched too far, too wide, like something wearing a face it didn't earn. And then she moved, not walking, not stepping, gliding, towards me. I remembered my grandmother's voice. Do not let her reach you. So I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't stop. I ran until my chest burned and my legs gave out. And when I finally gathered the courage to turn, she was gone. That night, my grandmother told me the truth. Long ago, the woman was human, beautiful, quiet, different. People said she was cursed. Others said she made a deal. But the one thing everyone agreed on was this. The day she stopped touching the ground, she stopped belonging to this world. And ever since then, she searches for people who can see her. Why? I asked. My grandmother looked at me, her eyes heavy. Because only those who see her can take her place. The room fell silent. My heart began to pound, because suddenly, everything made sense. That was 3 days ago. Since then, I haven't seen her again. But sometimes when I walk alone, I feel lighter, like my feet don't press into the earth the way they used to. like something is changing. And yesterday, for just a second, my shadow didn't touch the ground. So if you're ever walking, and you see someone standing too still, too quiet, too untouched by the world around them, don't look too closely, because if you notice, she will notice you too.